I believe our greatest responsibility is to ourselves. By nurturing our own growth and well-being, we can contribute to the world in a positive way. Now, I know this might sound a little bit contrary to what you typically hear from my message of people over profits and a humanistic form of leadership. But what I'm saying is that true leadership and meaningful contribution to society, it starts with self-growth and personal responsibility. We see the world as we understand it for most of our lives, transforming and morphing into something that's giving some of us pause and raising uncertainty. Now, whether this excites you or frightens you, one thing is certain. We are all in this together. We're all receiving lots of messages and recommendations through social media and other spaces about what we should be doing at this time. We should be boycotting. We should call your representatives, leave the country. Even going as far as guilt tripping us to say that if you're not doing anything, you are just as complicit. Listen, there's a lot that needs to be done, and there's a lot that will be done in many different ways. But we have to remember, each of us is on our own path. And by honoring that, we can create a ripple effect to see the change we want to see in the world. Understand that your personal growth is a contribution to society. Take, for instance, this movement this year among Black women, that this is our year of rest. Well, during this resting time, we are going to be able to focus and nurture our well-being, our spiritual, mental, emotional, physical well-being. And then this will make us a lot more resilient. We're raising our consciousness, and we're able to lead from a full cup and not an empty one. So we have to be able to honor individual paths. Each person is on their own journey. So know that leadership and service should not come from a place of force or obligation, but from personal alignment and authenticity. Like, for example, you cannot be a leader that is human-centric without empathy and self-awareness. You are only able to have empathy and self-awareness if you've done the inner work of connecting with your own emotions and your thoughts. You've done this self-inquiry work to really question your beliefs and your biases. In my Substack article, The Reflective Leader, I talk about never starting your day without checking in with yourself. That's the first thing you do, not your email, not social media, not the world, but yourself. By recognizing and respecting that we all have this diversity in our paths, we're able to now come together to make the change we want to see. We bring together different thoughts and skill sets and experiences. And that way, when we bring all of these different diverse backgrounds and skills and knowledge, we can create a more organic change, something that is long-term and sustainable, and it's not coming from a performative place. We all have the opportunity to create something beautiful. We can create the type of world we want to live in, and that world starts from within. Think about the ripple effect of your inner work. Right now, I'm working with a client where we're launching a program in communities to provide a self-sufficiency model aimed at equipping them with the tools that they need to build a future shaped on their needs, their voices, and their values. That's what I'm encouraging you to do here. Instead of placing external expectations on others to lead or change, I'm encouraging you to prioritize your own growth and just naturally influence your community and your surroundings. This concept that I'm speaking of, it has remnants of systems change or spiritual evolution, even quantum social change, where small individual shifts can contribute to the larger societal transformation. This whole idea that as we evolve, so does the world. So even when you think about people over profits, what does that really mean? That means that as an individual, you can see your part as a connection to the whole. And so you can show up fully for others by first being in alignment with yourself. And a humanistic leadership model is about really being self-aware, where you prioritize your personal growth to model the change they want to see, to model that change for the people that you're leading, rather than imposing it on others. That is what makes great leadership, how you can influence and inspire others. When is the last time you've been inspired by a leader? Our leadership should not come from a place of politics. It should be beyond politics or labels. I don't care what kind of leadership style you identify with. At the end of the day, you should be tapping into the more deeper, authentic source of who you are and leading from that place. Again, this is not about, selfish individualism, but really it's about having a deeper understanding that personal evolution is the prerequisite for effective leadership and service. And I believe that we're moving into an era that calls for a revolution of our leaders. But it starts first with the personal evolution of our leaders. So I want you to reflect on and ask yourself this. What needs to shift for me so that I can show up for others from a whole, healthy, aligned, authentic place? You will know once you start to ask that question. And jot that down, that self-inquiry. Check in with yourself. And then this week, I want to challenge you to take at least one deliberate step towards your personal growth. Start with the morning reflections or even the evening reflections that I mentioned in one of my previous articles. At the end of the day, maybe there are 3 or 4 questions that you're asking yourself to sort of reflect on the day that you just had. Invest in learning something new about someone, a different perspective. And I just want you to challenge yourself and do this for 7 days straight. And just watch how even that smallest shift can create a change and a ripple effect in your life and then the lives around you. Listen, I am inviting you all to really rethink how we lead from an inside-out process where personal alignment can create the systemic change that we want to see and make it sustainable. So with that, I just want to close with this. It's a quote from Stephen Blackwood. He's the president of Ralston College, and I'm paraphrasing it here. Through this work, we uncover fragments of ourselves, our communities, and society, revealing the deeper whole that connects us all. That's the wholeness of who we all are. And by embracing this, we don't just lead, but now we transform. So let this be your reminder for your inner world that's going to shape the outer world.